This week, both Rabbi Yaakov and the Maggid of Zlotchov are looking at the tabernacle, the different intricacies of how it's created, in order to learn something about how we should be leading our lives, how we should be viewing prayer, and how we should be viewing the letters of the Torah. Let's start with Rabbi Yaakov. So we're told that there are 1,775 pieces of silver. That what did we do from these pieces of silver? He made hooks for the pillar, right? Bezalel and Eliav, they made hooks for the pillars, covered their tops, and banded them. Right? So we have these pillars, you have hooks above, and you band them, you cover them with these silver pieces. Rabbi Yaakov looks and he says to us, we need to understand the importance. He says, I'm not sure we understand the importance of the letters of the Torah, the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, when we come to read a text, when we come to read Torah. He says, do you understand that these letters that we look at, they are like us looking, they're like our bodies, yet we can't see their souls. What is he getting at? He says, when God created the world, he first created a beam of light. And this beam of light emanated itself and became the letters. It became, he says, the 27 letters, because you have 22 plus the 5 doubles, so 27 letters, and they were like souls. Right, letters, the alphabet are actually like souls that we can't see them. Right, we can perhaps sense them, like sensing the presence of a loved one, but we can't see them. And then when he came to give us the Torah, in order for us to be able to grasp a 1,000th even of the truth of these letters, he had to cloak them, and he cloaked them with letters that we see. So he says, you need to understand that the pillars of the world, upon which God created the whole cosmos, the whole emanation of worlds, the Sphirot, everything, are these 27 letters which are garbed in clothing that we can now see. And he says this is what this verse alludes to. When he says that there were 1,775, he says he has a calculation where he says this 1,775 is equal to a certain calculation of the 27 letters. Hence, the verse is telling us these 27 letters are the pillars of the world. And then by receiving hooks and covering their tops and banding them is likened to us receiving the Torah. We receive the letters in a shape, in a form, like our bodies, in order for us to be able to grasp. But we should never forget that inside there is a deep light upon which stands the world. And so we should be very careful when we read letters or we utter words of prayer. Now the Maggid of Zlotchov, to sort of complement this, he looks at the first verse. These are the reckonings of the tabernacle of testimony. And he says, it's hard for me, why did the verse have to say twice tabernacle, tabernacle? Why not just say these are the reckonings of the tabernacle? And he says, he starts off by saying, we know that when we come to pray, it's not enough just to pray. We need to reach the root of prayer. Right, it's not enough, and we've discussed this previously, it's not enough to pray or it's not enough to study, but you need to reach the root of what you're doing. And he says, according to this idea, I would have thought that once we pray once, say Shacharis, Ma'ariv, Mincha, we need to then pray again. The first prayer is just praying. The second one is getting to the root of things, like a root canal. But the problem is that we have physical matter, and we yearn for physical things. And as a result, it is in the physical world. If we want the tabernacle, which is in fact the Torah, he says, right? For us Jews, if we want the Torah if we want the reckonings of the Torah to be present in our life, then what we need to do, and the reason it says double tabernacle, if you really want the Torah and the way of Torah, it's not enough to pray properly or to study properly, because we need to be doing these things continuously. But while we're in the physical world, we need to look at every single commandment and every single thing that we do. And just like a judge needs witnesses in order to clarify a case, we too need to view things, view mitzvahs and commandments from a 360 viewpoint in order to really reach the root of the matter. So two very different thoughts, albeit complementing on the Torah portion of Pikudei. Shabbat Shalom.